Hey everybody, it's Neil here from Post to Post, coming at you with some jersey concepts here on a Friday. We do this every Friday on the channel, so if that's something that you do enjoy, we'd love to have your subscription if you're new. This series is the Indigenous series. We've not done anything like this on the channel. I don't think we have. These are by Jamie, so he's a designer in the community. He's submitted 32 jersey concepts for the channel. We're going to react to them today. I've not seen these before. I'm not exactly sure how, in depth these designs are. They could be maybe just a logo is Indigenous, and maybe the whole jersey design is Indigenous. We're going to find out together. So that's pretty cool. Let's jump in and let's see what Jamie's got for us today. Starting off with Anaheim, as we normally do in terms of abbreviation in alphabetical order. Let's bring it up. Okay, so it's not just a logo, it's also the jersey. You can see some pattern in there. And I will have to admit, my knowledge of Indigenous cultures around North America is fairly limited. I live in Atlantic Canada, so I'm aware of the ones around me and maybe some in Western and Central Canada. But in terms of the United States, my knowledge is pretty limited. So I'm not actually going to know the specific reference to every single team. So I'm really just going to talk about the designs and if I like them or not necessarily the educational aspect behind each decision here. So I think first impressions, that's a pretty cool pattern in the arms and down below. And we can see a bit of a logo change down there as well at the bottom section of the logo. I really like, regardless of series, I really like the amount of kind of glow or stroke that Jamie has put on the numbers and the logo. I think that is fantastic. It gives it a bit of a modern look, a bit of a neon glow. I think that was a wonderful decision. Black is the primary color. That's fine. So it's pretty close to their previous brand of home jersey versus their current home of brand jersey. So let's move on. The Boston Bruins and pretty generic striping. The logo being recolorized like that on the shoulder, that's actually quite interesting. I'm wondering if that logo would look good on a white jersey. I know like the B is white, so it's a bit odd, but I'm wondering how that would look on a white jersey, regardless of series. I think that would be pretty cool. Now the logo that Jamie has chosen here, I don't know what that represents or what that signifies. I see that more as a shoulder patch than a primary logo. Buffalo, those stripes are, I would say, very Indigenous, very, very intense, but don't really look out of place. Like, they don't look that bad at all. I like the colors being chosen as well. As much as I love the royal blue, Jamie's gone with a blue that actually Buffalo's never used. It's a little bit darker than the darkest blue that they've ever used. It looks really good. It contrasts nicely with the white and that gold or that yellow. And then you can see some kind of writing in there in the Buffalo. That's kind of cool. Moving on to the Carolina Hurricanes. Okay, so I think I see an arrowhead in the background there. That kind of replaces some of the designs that Carolina has used in the past. And then we have that in the striping as well, that arrowhead in there. So I think color-wise, the gray is an interesting choice. I might almost want to see like either a lighter gray or just have the whole thing black maybe. Not sure. I'm not sold on that specific gray. Moving on to Columbus. Wow. I love the colors. The colors are really cool. And the logo being colorized as well and kind of redesigned, taking the flag of the state flag aspect out of the logo, which is the Ohio state flag, and kind of putting in a different flag, which is the not a Uyghur national flag. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, but it's pretty cool. I actually really like the colors a lot. It's really cool to see some yellow in there. It's a bit Florida Panthers reverse retro, like reverse retro 2.0. But yeah, it's cool. Calgary, wow. That's actually really cool. I love the logo. The logo is really awesome. And then the bit of transition with the feathers between the yellow and the red on the arms and the bottom of the jersey. I like it more in the arms because I think the feather position is a little bit more balanced, where at the bottom of the jersey, most of the feather is in the red. So it's a bit more of a harsh contrast or transition from the yellow to the red on the yellow part of the feathers. I think maybe just remove it from the bottom of the jersey, keep it in the logo. I think it looks really good in the logo, and keep it in the arms. That's a really cool, innovative way to use feathers with a logo. It's cool. Next, the Chicago Blackhawks. Well, I mean, this is a really good example of. There's lots of Indigenous influence in many sports brands, regardless of the sport. Hockey, football, basketball. I think there's one as well. But in hockey, we've got obviously the Chicago Blackhawks here. The Vancouver Canucks have some Indigenous influence in their branding. The Arizona Coyotes did. The Seattle Kraken do. The Winnipeg Jets do a little bit, but they've also done some specialty jerseys as well. And Vancouver, I think every year does an Indigenous warm-up jersey. I think it's a warm-up jersey. But yeah, so there's lots of Indigenous influence already in sports. So I think this is a really cool series to get. So Chicago, this is, their brand is already Indigenous, so this is perfect. I mean, I really like this jersey, and just in general, the white looks really good. The logo on there, the striping in the background, this is excellent. The Colorado Avalanche. So what I don't know is if Jamie is designing the logos. So I'm not exactly sure who the designer of that specific logo was. So if it's not Jamie, shout out to whoever designed that, because that's a wonderfully designed logo. You can see the feather in there. You can see a bit of I think it's a fish on the right-hand side, and then you still get that general shape of the Avalanche logo. It's really, really cool. A great interpretation of the logo and an adaptation of an Indigenous kind of influence. We got the foot on the shoulder, which I'm old school. I like the foot. The stars in the bottom of the jersey, I'm not really a fan of that. I think they're a little bit too big. I think they conflict with the primary logo a little bit. Next, the Dallas Stars. That's kind of cool. It's a bit of a tan color. It's not off-white. It's not yellow. It's this like tan kind of beige look, and it that kind of represents Dallas a little bit. It's there's lots of farming, and there's some kind of barren areas of Texas. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the logo as well. I think this is an excellent jersey. Next, the Detroit Red Wings. Wow, lots going on here. He's changed the wheel from a wheel into a dream catcher. I think that's what they call them. That's pretty awesome. The striping too is kind of this like almost tire pattern on the striping, which is it's Motor City in Detroit, so that's kind of cool. I like this one. This one's neat. Okay, the Edmonton Oilers. Is that a turtle? I think that's a turtle. I'm not exactly sure, but it looks like the shell of a turtle is the logo. And I love the design around the Oilers logo there. That the green, the orange, and the red, the yellow, and the white on the side there. That's actually a fantastic logo. I like that a lot. The oil drops in the striping on the arms and the bottom of the jersey is a little bit much for me. I think if we kind of played with the transparency there, brought it down to like 10%, so it's there, but not super distracting. Florida Panthers. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the feather aspect in there. I like the FLA. What I don't like is that the circle is no longer a circle. So you can see some jaggedy edges on the bottom left. You can see some jaggedy edges on the top left as well. So I don't know the reasoning there. I don't know if that was intentional, maybe a mistake. I'm not exactly sure. So I would just prefer to see that tightened up a little bit and just see a perfect circle, white circle all the way around there. But it's a pretty cool jersey. I like the off-white, the tan in there. That looks good. The Los Angeles Chiefs. Well, from a naming standpoint, I don't think this would fly. But from taking just a regular logo and maybe adding something to it is a good approach. The striping feels a bit Vegas. It's a bit like that like Broadway kind of show. Yeah, like I'm thinking like New York Broadway, Vegas Strip, kind of like those bulb looks. So I'm not digging the striping, I don't think, for this one. Okay, the Minnesota Wild. Well, I think that specific area of Minnesota, you've got Manitoba there as well, that kind of indigenous area. There would be lots of indigenous influence and representation in Minnesota, I assume. But this generally looks just like a regular Minnesota Wild jersey, and it looks good. I think the arms are in the stars on the arms is really cool. Regardless of series, I think that would be something cool to see in the future from Minnesota. The Montreal Canadiens. That's pretty neat. I actually kind of like that logo. It's a bit of a different look for sure. The arms I'm a little conflicted on, but they're okay. It's okay. The Devils, like the logo. The influence in there is pretty cool. I might say the same thing here as I was thinking for Edmonton. So the design that's in the arms and the striping in the bottom of the jersey, maybe make that just a little bit more subtle, change the transparency to 50%. I do find it a bit distracting here. Nashville. So, okay, that's actually pretty cool. So Nashville has that guitar pick kind of alternate logo that you see, and Jamie's changed it from a guitar pick to kind of an arrowhead, and he's got that design on the arms as well. I think it looks a little bit more like a spade, like in a deck of cards on the arms, but on the logo and the primary logo, it looks pretty decent. It's an okay jersey. Wow, that's actually cool arm design. I like that a lot on the Islanders here. And you've got some influence in the logo and on the shoulders as well. This is a pretty simple jersey design in terms of like there's no regular striping that we get on the arms or the bottom of the jersey, just that kind of white pinstripe. But it's pretty modern and it's pretty cool. I actually really like this jersey. The Rangers. So this is a combination between the Lady Liberty logo and with an Indigenous flavor or a headpiece on there. It feels a little awkward just on the nose, but it doesn't look bad. It's maybe a little bit of a weird combination. I don't know if that would be plausible, but it does look good. Now the striping is decent. I might go with a different colorization of striping in the bottom and on the arms, but it's okay. The Ottawa Senators. This is pretty cool, actually. I like this a lot. Now we've got a bit of a deck of cards thing happening with the pattern in the arms and the bottom of the jersey, but it's also really cool. It's a cool way to do striping with that kind of mirrored opposing arrowhead there. And also the shoulders are pretty cool as well. So this is a cool jersey. The Philadelphia Flyers. Neat touch on the numbers. So the feather kind of comes off of the bottom of the numbers. But how would that look if it wasn't just 7? What if it was 14? Which number would that feather kind of come off of? Would it be both numbers? Would there be 2 feathers at that point? Would it just be like a random? I don't know. But yeah, it's pretty neat. And then the Dreamcatcher kind of put on its side to make the Flyers logo. That's pretty neat, actually. That takes some thinking and some innovation there. So that's pretty awesome. The Penguins. Wow. I don't know if I'm sold on the jersey design, but the logo is really, really good. I think I'm being thrown off by this specific template, our jersey template. At the bottom, it's a little bit awkward the way that it's colorized because you're also showing like the bottom inside of the jersey that's black. But if you wanted to get into designing jerseys, just like Jamie here and others that we showcase every single Friday, whether it's this template or a different template, I can help you out a little bit. If you go to sportstemplates.net, there's templates over there that you can get. There's jersey templates, there's uniform templates. There's also templates from every single, basically, sport around the world. You've got basketball and football and soccer. And I can help you out by saving you 10% if you use the code post-to-post. That code applies to every single template on the site, whether it's hockey, soccer, football, it doesn't really matter. I can save you 10% on every single template over there. And there's also free templates too. So if you already have Photoshop, you want to get that and come up with some designs, send them in. That would be awesome. And details on how to do that are down below in the description of this video. So head on down there and there's going to be a video linked that kind of walks you through the process of how to submit your concepts. And I'm running low on concepts. So if you've got some in the bank, any designers out there, I would love to have you send them in so we can continue this Friday review of jersey concepts and showcase your guys' work in the community because it's great. Back to this, let's move on to the next jersey. We've got the Seattle Kraken. So here's another brand that does have some Indigenous kind of influence in what they do. I love the logo. I think the logo is incredible to have that fish in there. I also like the colorization. The color shows in here, it's so much more red. I love that. The negative for me is probably the numbers. Having the number become a fish, you get the tail at the bottom, the fin on the side. It's a little bit gimmicky. It kind of goes back to if the number changes. Like, yeah, that might look okay on a 7 because it kind of does look like a fish, but what if it was a 4? Or what if it was a 3? That doesn't really work. So I would kind of keep that branding off of the number personally. The San Jose Sharks. Wow. I don't know how I feel about the striping. I don't get the Indigenous aspect of the striping. But the logo is actually really cool. It's almost 2 animals in one. I can kind of see almost like a bird or something on the left. I don't know if that's intentional or maybe it's a seal. I have no idea. But to me, I personally see a bird. I can kind of see the fin and as almost like an arm or a feather or a wing rather of a bird. All our minds work differently. We all see different things. So I would be curious on this one. If you see something different than me, let me know down below in the comment section. But I like the black as the primary color. Everything outlined in orange makes it pop. Good decision there. St. Louis. Now here's one of those things where I'm sure that someone sees it, but I don't. I don't know what the change on the left-hand side of the logo actually is. And I'm sure once I edit this video or watch it back later, I'm probably going to see it. But in this moment, I don't actually see what is being represented there. It looks like a snorkel to me. So I'm not sure what's going on here. It's an okay jersey design. Tampa Bay. Wow, that's actually pretty neat. I like that little change. I think the lightning bolt is maybe a little bit too covered, so maybe if you take the feathers and just kind of maybe shift them to the right or something. But it's really cool. You got the dark blue, the light blue, some gray in there. Yeah, this is a really good jersey concept just in general. The Toronto Maple Leafs. So what's this up here? It looks like in Cree. Okay. The writing in the logo is pretty cool. I would love to see Toronto do something like that. And then the jersey in general is pretty generic. It does look pretty good, so nothing negative to say here. Utah. So we've got lots of mountains along the bottom that I assume would be a sublimation print if this jersey existed. Now the logo definitely has some Indigenous influence. The shoulder patch looks good. Overall, if you didn't tell me the series and you just showed me this jersey concept, I likely wouldn't assume that it had any Indigenous influence. But now that it's a part of the series, the logo does kind of represent that, so that's cool. But it's a cool jersey design just in general. Vancouver, yeah. So I was kind of waiting for this one. So Vancouver probably does the best out of any single team in the NHL in terms of kind of promoting and representing Indigenous flavor, other than maybe Chicago. So this is exactly like something that I would expect from Vancouver. The colors are so good. The logo is redesigned so nicely. The shoulder patch has even been changed. Now, there might be some people here who maybe get offended by the shoulder patch or get offended by this in general. But as an outsider, I think this is beautiful. I think this is really nice. It's a nice jersey design, the colors, and I really like the representation. So if Vancouver did something like this as a permanent alternate, I think it would be very popular and very well received and accepted. And this would be a jersey that I would seek to have in my collection. If it existed, I'd buy it. Next, the Vegas Golden Knights. Okay, this kind of reminds me of the Rangers one, where you're taking a persona like the Golden Knight that's in their regular logo, like the Lady Liberty, and you're kind of putting just like a headdress on that persona. It feels a little bit awkward here, like I did with the Rangers one. Also, you can see some kind of triangle designs at the bottom, which I think is probably supposed to represent maybe a teepee or something, some kind of housing. I'm not sure on that as well. Now, the alternate logo, I'm actually having a difficult time visualizing what that is. I'm not sure what I don't know if those are axes or if that's slingshot or what, but it's kind of a cool design though overall, just maybe a little bit gimmicky in this one. Yes, and the Winnipeg Jets, here's another really good example. So the Winnipeg Jets do a good job with I think it's a specialty warm-up jersey, kind of like Vancouver, and this is very kind of on brand with what they've done in the past. It's fantastic. I really like this a lot. I think this is something that should exist maybe more permanently, like an alternate, or something that people can buy not just at auction, like a warm-up jersey, like a regular jersey. Maybe it's produced by Fanatics. Maybe it's not worn in a game or even in a warm-up jersey, but just something we can buy that's like decent quality. I think this would sell well. And then the Washington Capitals here with the Screaming Eagle, or not the Screaming Eagle, the other eagle with the negative space of the Capitol building in the bottom. He's been fully indigenized here. The wings have really spread out. I think that is a really cool logo. I like that a lot. I think that's really good. Jersey design is pretty close to what we've seen kind of in the past. In terms of my favorite, it's going to be really hard not to say that the Vancouver one is the best. I'll throw that one up there. Just because that was like exactly what I was expecting. But as I kind of cycle back through this, I think we have to say the Chicago one is nice because it's just a regular Chicago Blackhawks jersey and it looks amazing. So we'll give an honorable shout out there. And also the Calgary one. The Calgary one is maybe on that gimmicky side, but it's still really cool and really well executed. There's actually a lot of good designs in here. Like the Buffalo one's pretty good as well. Pretty simple in term, compared to the other ones, but really good. But I'm gonna go with I'll go with Vancouver. I think out of all of the designs, this would not only sell well, it would be well received, it would match their branding, and it would be very sought after by a lot of people. So yeah, it's a really good, interesting series and a lot of really good designs in here, Jamie. So thanks for sending those in. I appreciate it. If you've got a couple minutes down below in the comment section, please let me know your favorite from this video. And I'm sure there are designers out there looking for ideas for series because we've seen it all. We've seen full, like regular kind of redesigns from teams in a series. We've seen Indigenous ones like this. We've seen logo swaps or color swaps from teams where like it'd be San Jose jersey, but it's in St. Louis colors. Like, we've seen all kinds of series. So if you want to see something, some series that you've not seen on the channel yet, feel free to leave those suggestions down below in the comment section, because I'm sure there are designers out there looking for new ideas. And if they see something in the comment section from you, they may be like, okay, that's actually a really good idea. I'll start on that. And like I said in the middle of the video, if you want to start on something and you want a template to work from, check out the sportstemplates.net templates and have some fun and play around with your creativity and send in your designs. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful start for your weekend and watching lots of hockey and enjoying that. So we'll talk to you soon. Adios.